ATL.GA faithful, my people. I'm the Douglas Carter back on the scene doing my thing, and I just want to say I appreciate you and the work that you do. So, y'all know I'm going to have to touch on the Atlanta Falcons free agency thus far. Not happy with it. Not happy with it at all. Now, after I get my first feelings out of the way, I can go back and try to talk myself, hey, this could make sense, this could make sense. But really, it's a pathetic start to free agency for me. And y'all let me know if y'all feel the same way. I feel like we got to make a big move, and I don't know if we can. I don't know what Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris's plan is. But like if I was like sitting at a desk or whatever, and I would just like sling everything off my desk because it just don't make sense to me. And I don't like it. So first off, let's just touch on Kirk Cousins. I'm going to try to remember everything that I've seen, and y'all fill me in if I miss something. So let's get this picture straight. Kirk Cousins, I'm cool with him sitting on the bench. And I've listened to Big Low, One Time for the Fan, Tidy with Atlanta Bird Gang, Uncle Steve, Smitty Sports Machine, 95 North, Chris, Tip Moore, A1, Debo Vibes. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. It's nothing personal. But I keep my ear to the Falcons Content Creator Network, and a lot of diverse opinions. But Big Low, he said, he petty like that, and he want Kirk Cousins to sit on the bench and show that you don't run nothing here, and I'm with that. Who cares about the $10 million? They're gonna eat it. See, Kirk Cousins can just sit on the bench, and I think Michael Penix is young enough and mentally tough enough and smart enough and believes in himself enough and knows his talent that Kirk Cousins ain't gonna bother him. Like people say, keeping Kirk Cousins on the roster is gonna be like volatile. It's gonna be a bad look, and you don't want to keep somebody who doesn't want to be there on your team. Yeah, you don't want to keep somebody on your team who doesn't want to be there. But at the same time, you got to get some kind of compensation because this wasn't the plan. We bet Kirk Cousins was going to come in and be a placeholder and take us to the playoffs, and then we ease Michael Penix in. But what did Kirk Cousins do? First, and this is nothing personal against Kirk Cousins, it's just business. He knows business. He's been a mediocre quarterback his whole career, but he's got bank. He's got paid. So he's sitting pretty. He is not worried about this stuff. Yeah, he has his preferences, but business. You came in dry snitching, took one of our draft picks. Okay, I'm getting behind you still. Hey, you was in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium crowd surfing. I was right up in the Dirty Bird's Nest crowd surfing. Oh, let's go. Oh, 500 yards. Oh, you beat Matt Ryan's record for a single game. Did a lot of good comebacks. You did some good things. Then, whether you got injured or not, Big Low Conspiracy, beloved, doesn't think you was injured, and you just saying that to try to save your career. Whether you were injured or whether you weren't, you wasn't trying to give up your spot because you knew Michael Penix was going to take it. Now, the tables are turned. The no trade clause and all that stuff. You want to go somewhere, you want to skip Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot and go talk to Arthur Blank, and Arthur Blank say, we're going to do what's best for the club. We're going to do what's best for the team. Thank you, Arthur Blank. The Falcon for Life thing, era is over. It looks like Arthur Blank learned his lesson with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. As much as the fan base loves certain players like me, like Grady Jarrett, that's one of my all-time favorite players, one of my all-time favorite Falcons, him and his dad, Jesse Tuggle. But you try to lowball Grady Jarrett, and he's like, nah, Tidy said kick rocks on that pay cut because he could go make money in Chicago. And I hate to see him go. I wanted him to stay. I wanted a restructure, but it ain't in the cards. So anyway, back to Kirk Cousins. Sit on the bench. You know what I'm saying? If something happens, you need to come in, win us a game or two, because you already cost us a draft pick and you cost us the playoffs last season. So it is what it is. And the sad thing is, nobody wants Kirk Cousins as their starter. Nobody wants to pay him. Nobody wants to trade for him. So the Falcons are just going to keep him as their high-paid backup. Doesn't matter, because the money in the quarterback room is the money in the quarterback room. Whether you're paying $27 million for your starter and $1 million for your backup, or vice versa, it doesn't matter. It's all the same money. It's all the same business. So go ahead, get comfortable in Atlanta, Kirk. Chill out, get your check, and let Penix run the show and show everybody what he can do. And hopefully he comes in and balls out and we go to the playoffs like we're supposed to. All right, moving on from the Kirk Cousins discussion. On to Grady Jarrett. Salute you, Grady. Thank you for your service. I hate we couldn't, restructure a deal. You mean a lot to Atlanta, and I would have liked you to play your whole career here, but business is business. Wish you well in Chicago. Drew Dahlman, I really wanted to keep him at center. He got a payday in Chicago as well, and Atlanta didn't want to pay him. So now I'm like, okay, so the heart and soul of your defense, the middle of your defense, Grady Jarrett, you let him go. Maybe not the heart and soul of your offense, but definitely the middle, definitely the center of your offense. Yeah, he had a couple injuries, but it was actually a pick that actually panned out. I'm guessing the Falcons' thinking is Nuzul came in, started a few games, and there wasn't that much of a fall off. So I think they're riding with Nuzul, and they got some tender where they can have first refusal or whatever. So they're going to try to keep Nuzul. And I'm fine with Nuzul as long as he do the job and it doesn't disrupt the offensive line, which hopefully it'll be okay. I was thinking maybe, when they let Grady go, they would maybe use some of that money to get Dahlman back, but maybe that deal was already done. So anyway, the two middle pieces of the defensive line, or the two middle pieces, one on the defensive line, one on the offensive line. Yeah, I'm heated, so I'm going to probably stumble a little bit on my words because I don't like what I'm seeing, okay? So that's what that is. Jake Matthews, he gets re-signed. That's good. Jake Matthews is cool. We re-signed the long snapper, so that's cool. We re-signed Mike Hughes, had an all right season. Okay, that's cool. We signed Divine Diablo, which I remember kind of scouting him when he was a draft prospect a couple years ago, and he seemed pretty good, but we'll see how that pans out. Leonard Floyd, Georgia dog. I'm about getting Georgia players, but I also like to get them when they're in their prime. He's had good years. He's familiar with Raheem. Maybe he still has a little bit of juice left in the tank, but his numbers with San Francisco kind of, I think he had 8.5 sacks from 9. He's had 2 10-sack seasons. But like I said, he's on the down slope, but he could be still a good veteran, probably a specialized pass rusher. Okay, so Leonard Floyd, okay. But signing Leonard Floyd and signing Divine Diablo, in my mind, doesn't make up for letting Grady go and letting Chris Dahlman go. Now, Grady was on the tail end of his, career, like it seems like, and he's coming off an injury. I understand. Some people think it was time for him to go, and opinions differ on that. Hopefully, Nuzul is just as good as Drew Dahlman. We'll see. Mike Ford. So we got another ace special teamer. He's been here before. He's okay. We re-signed Kadero Hodge. I like Kadero Hodge. So we got 2 ace special teamers. That's good. And we re-signed Mike Hughes. Okay. I see a lot of people thought TQ, Taquan Graham, was going to be released. We re-signed him. So maybe TQ can come and do something. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Goldman, he's gone. He went somewhere. I can't even remember. I just saw it too. I think he went to the Commanders. So Eddie Goldman, he's gone. No big deal. Let's see. Justin Simmons looks like he's trying to go to Philly, so he don't want to be here. So we might as well just, anything can happen, but I doubt Justin Simmons is going to be here. So DeMarco Helms is going to have to step up. Braylon Trice is going to have to step up. Ruko Rororo is going to have to step up. Brandon Dorless is going to have to step up. Zach Harrison is going to have to step up. We know what we're getting with Caden Ellis. Troy Anderson, you're going to have to stay healthy, step up. AK, you're going to have to step up. I think Lorenzo Carter's gone. Nate Landman probably gone. Maybe we bring him back. I don't know if he signed with somebody else yet. Not sure. But the big deal for me is let's get Trey Hendrickson in here. Figure out a way to get Trey Hendrickson here. And then I'll feel a little bit better about the moves that we're making, because so far, I don't like it. I've seen reports Falcons did good on free agents, and then I've seen reports Falcons was pathetic in free agency. So it's all about your opinion. My opinion is it's pretty pathetic at this point in time. I can see their vision. I can talk myself into, okay, Devine, he might be an up-and-coming linebacker. We get him, and Jeff Albrecht coach him up, and he does real good. And I think Albrecht can coach up some players. So we'll see about that. We still got Jerry Gray and coach up. Is Clark Phillips going to step up and do something? D. Elford, I don't know if he's coming back. I think we re-signed like Kyle Hinton, offensive lineman, and a linebacker with the last name Woods, Josh Woods, I think. Look, nothing outstanding, guys. I see a lot of other teams making better moves. Still looking at this draft, and whether I don't think we're going to trade Kyle Pitts unless somebody just gives us a beautiful deal, and then we probably will. But I think we're going to see what he can do with Michael Penix for one more year, and maybe he can up his value, and then either we can decide to keep him or get a better trade for him. Which getting a better trade for him might be the route that I would go. Just too inconsistent for me, and I don't see the passion for the game. Yeah, I'm a little long-winded here, but I got to get this stuff off my chest, y'all. Shout out to all my subscribers. Y'all say who y'all want in free agency. Big Low pulled up some free agents and touched on a couple of them. There's a couple of them out there that might be worth something, but it ain't making me feel good about the squad right now. Got to hit in this draft. Everybody wants to trade back. If somebody wants to trade up, then I would definitely trade back. Jack Spade, I was listening to him talk. He said, if they draft a corner, in the first round, maybe he was saying, he'd flip everything over. And they could still draft a corner. T. Will, he was talking about what about a nickel? Because if you move back and Jahdae Barron's there, some people will just take him at 15. Nickel, outside corner from Texas. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at, trading back. Really, if you take a linebacker, a corner, and a edge, one of those, you know what I'm saying, with the first two picks, I think Kerry said something about that. I'll be cool with that, but you got to hit. I don't like the notion of taking Shamar Stewart. Yeah, he's got all the measurables and all that, but he don't got the production. I'd rather take somebody without all the measurables but has the production. Falcoholic was talking about, Mike Green might potentially be off the Falcons board. So, Mike Green, he looked good, but is he off the board because of the, the allegations and whatnot? I'm not sure. Donovan Ezeraku, I think is how you say his last name, out of Boston College. He might be in there in the second round. Maxwell Hairston, corner out of Kentucky that I really like. Looks like he's there in the second round. Jack Sawyer, defensive end out of Ohio State, I really like. Probably be there in the second round. You got some higher level corners. Emin safety, South Carolina. Malachi Starks, safety, UGA. There's a lot of ways we could go, but get the right pick. Make the right pick. Bolster up this defense. I saw an interesting thing on the mock draft where I was like, I traded back, and the wide receiver out of Ohio State was still there, Egbuka or something like that. Forgive me about butchering the name. But it seems like some Falcons stuff that they would like finally trade back, but then they would take like a receiver. I'm like, it wouldn't surprise me because we're talking about the Falcons. I just want them to make the sound moves that the fan base knows knows that they should make. You know, it's not that hard. Get the production players that you need. This defense needs help, and this draft is defense heavy. You can get quality players in the middle rounds, but thanks to Kirko Lamo, we don't have a third round pick. So now that I got that off my chest, got the rant out the way, y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all think this is a good start to free agency for the Falcons? You think we going down the right path? You think the future is bright with the moves that we're making? You think we'll actually make the right picks in the draft? Do you think Kirk Cousins being here on the bench is going to be a distraction? What do you think about Kyle Pitts? What do you think about Noozle at center? Also, David Onyemata, he's still on the roster as far as I know. A lot of people thinking we was going to cut him. I think he saved like $8 million or something like that. You know, it's just, you got to do this right, and it seems obvious to the fan base what needs to happen. Y'all tell me y'all's thoughts, man. Drop them comments. Hit that like. It's your first time coming through. I do content like this because, like, everything wants to be copyright, so I know they can't copyright this. Real talk. Let me know how you feel. I'm going to end this video like I end all my videos. Thank God works. And I hope you have a blessed rest of your day or night. 1.